Yes, sir. Y'all know what time it is. No, I am Dre. That is Rashad. And welcome to episode number 7 of
See,
What Happened Was.
Yes,
Oh, that
yes,
never
yes.
gets old.
Never, never.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we got a good show for you.
That's
We're
right.
going to be covering music, in particular 80s music, 90s music, the soundtrack of our lives.
That's right. That's right.
Now, for Rashad and I, music played a very big part of our lives. You know, even going as far back as the early 80s, I can remember all types of music being played in the house.
Mhm.
And it was our first introduction. First introduction to what we used to call white boy music.
Yeah. White boy music.
Yeah. And
Oh man.
when we say it jokingly, but really it was a lot of rock, pop. Our mom's first husband had like a huge collection
Yes.
of albums, and we would listen to those. I mean, we had listened to things like Journey. We listened to Foreigner. We listened to Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra.
Yep.
Hall and Oates.
Hall and Oates.
I mean, we went through like the gamut of that music. Billy Joel,
Yeah.
and it got me hooked, basically.
You can't forget Bobby.
Yeah.
What you won't do?
Yeah.
You know, the guy that everybody thought was black.
Bobby Caldwell. Yeah.
The white boy
man.
with soul.
Yeah, a lot of the Blue Eyed Soul that we listened to as well. So we came up very well rounded.
Yeah,
and even getting into other 80s music. Of course, we had Michael Jackson. Speaking of Michael Jackson, I got a question for you. Let's see if you know this. What was the first Michael Jackson song to be featured on MTV?
Don't cheat. Comment below. Oh man.
Yeah. If you're
question.
if you're old head, then you would definitely know now. But I will say this: I do remember the premiere for Thriller.
And what year was that?
That was 1983. That was 83. Matter of fact, December 2nd, 1983 is when it came out. And it was a real big event for us. Like, I remember, being at the Richardson's house. We were in the den.
Yeah.
And everybody was gathered around the TV, us, Mom, Mike, Lynn, Daryl's in there, Grandma, Granddaddy was in there.
It was a lot of the other Richardson's family too.
Oh yeah. Cousins
I remember
were in there too.
Yeah. It was chips and dips and food. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. And I was only 4 years old at the time.
Yeah.
But I remember, and because I still remember, like, Thriller was one of them ones for me was kind of hard to watch because I'm like,
yeah,
dancing zombies. Oh boy.
Oh
yeah, man. I do remember that.
Yeah, it was an event.
Yeah.
And those of you that don't remember this, The reason why it was such an event is because of the fact that back in the day they weren't playing black artists on MTV like that. Michael
Yeah.
Jackson was the first. And Rick James had a little problem with that.
Did you say hammer?
Yeah.
You say hammer?
I hate him.
I hate hammer. Hammer's a stinky duty. And he got cooties. If you know where that's from,
Yeah.
comment below.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you like hammer, baby.
Yeah. You like hammer.
Oh, that is
Oh my
wild,
God.
man. But yeah, Michael Jackson was the first, and I remember this was like when Mike was like at his peak.
Yeah.
If he wasn't at his peak, he was climbing up. He was high. I mean, it would be like one of them things. Like nobody from that time can say they've never heard of Michael Jackson.
Right.
I've heard one person say they've never heard of Michael Jackson, and it's like, come on now. Everybody knows about Mike, but yeah, the music. Oh man, I can't really say much about it. The music, like I was explaining to you off camera, was like one of the cornerstones of my life.
Right.
Everything that we got a chance to listen to, and my love for music goes back to 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and maybe about, I would say, 2005.
Yeah.
After that,
Yep.
I
Same
don't
here.
pay attention.
Same here. I can't tell you who love this from love that. These days, I don't know. The only
Can't
loves
do
I
it.
know, really, only loves I know are like Kim and Bow Wow.
Yes, or Richard.
Oh yeah. Ain't nobody gave me nothing.
Ain't nobody gave me nothing.
I'm the one who invented rock and roll.
see. Because what happened was, I was in the basement playing my guitar, and they stole it from me. Yeah.
Oh man.
Little Richard, boy, like
Yeah.
we had musicians, we had artists, we had writers. And if you don't know what that is, right? There were no drum machines. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Everything was boom, 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 boom,
Yep.
boom, boom. Everything was live instruments. It was, if you go back to the Motown era, man, everything was played in house
Yep.
live.
Yep.
These were musicians.
Right.
You know what I mean? We had singers, people who actually could sing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that takes me to one of my favorite artists who threw some shade. I forget. I don't know if he was talking to Donnie Simpson or something, but Prince. He said,
Yeah.
I don't sample.
Yeah.
When you come to my show, my mic is on.
Yeah.
Boy, he threw all kind of shade. You know what I'm saying? My mic is on. He's not lip singing. Like that was just wonderful. That was wonderful.
Speaking of Prince.
Yeah. Oh
Prince
boy.
is my all-time favorite artist. Okay. Number 2 is Babyface, but Prince is number 1. The reason why is because of the fact that he played his own stuff. He wrote his own music. He was a showman. He was serious about his craft. And when Purple Rain came out, that's really when I started to really notice Prince, was Purple Rain. That was like 1984. And of course I was like, what, 8? I was 8 years old at the time. And it really got me into Prince, that whole soundtrack. That's actually one album that I could play and not skip any songs.
Yeah, back in the days, we were able to do that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Nowadays, bloop,
Yep.
bloop. It's yeah, yeah.
And I will never forget that we had the album, right? So
I actually remember when Mike brought that album home. I remember that album.
man, so we brought the album home, and I don't remember what happened to it, but it would scratch, like it would skip, and the beautiful ones, it's always at the beautiful ones. So when
Oh
he goes
man.
to, you know, I'm begging down on my knees, and we're like, doom,
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 doom. It just kept
just
skipping.
kept skipping.
Oh man. And I
And
think it was a result of it being played just too much.
probably so.
Yeah, he played the heck out of that album.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. It's like either that or I was trying to scratch.
Hey. Disclaimer: statute of limitations is gone.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Oh
man,
man, yeah,
all the way,
that is
man.
wild.
Um, but yeah, we come from a time where music was all about having a good time.
Hmm.
I mean, we could take it as far back as Rapper's Delight,
Yep.
really. Because they would play that song to death. You'll be hard pressed. Matter of fact, you would never today find that song played in its entirety. That's
No,
a 15-minute cut. But somebody like me, I have it on my phone on one of my playlists. Matter of fact, it's called Rapper's Delight.
yeah,
And I could play it the whole way through and not skip.
which is really billed to be the first rap song to ever get national. Or
Yeah.
it's a debate. You can fight all day long about it, but it's
Yeah.
technically the first rap song to get major exposure.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
first rap song for that.
I'll
Man,
even I'll even go there. Do you remember Blondie?
of course.
Rapture.
Yeah. Rapture and Fab Five Freddy,
Hmm.
homegirl. You know what I'm saying? And that was like I think one of the introductions to was it Flash, Grandmaster Flash, was
Grandmaster
it?
Flash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One of the
Yep.
hottest DJs around, you
Yep.
know.
Grandmaster Flash
Yeah.
and the Furious Five. Matter of fact,
Here's
the
five.
message. The message. I
Oh
believe that
man.
was 1982, if I'm not mistaken. And that's another song that I can listen to the whole way through.
I remember listening to that song and thinking like, did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
What did he say? He said pissing on the stage.
Yeah.
Something like, as kids, we're like, did you hear that? put the needle back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That song was like one of the first songs that was just like, hey, here's reality. Here's what we're
Yep.
giving you, you know.
Yep.
Um, of course, before the LA scene really blew up like that, that's when rap was really, really fresh and new and before it got so dark, so
Yep.
to speak, because
Yep.
it used to be like really, really fun. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? With the break dancing and
Yep.
pop locking and all that stuff. But yeah, man, like I would have to say for me, the artist that really kicked it off for me would have been Mike. Because Mike, like I said, I just watched Mike. This is craft,
Mhm.
the way he danced, the way he put songs together, just his whole image. Mike for me was the man because I've been watching Mike since the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
We we had the Jackson 5 poster when we
Yep.
were kids. You know what I'm saying? Like the Victory Tour and all that
Yep.
stuff. So it would have to be one of the best for me was Mike, and of course, James Brown, big James Brown fan. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah,
Why the people to come and come? My
let me see you coming to Parmesan.
man.
No one there.
Hi.
If you know where that is from,
Yeah.
comment below.
In the comments. Mhm.
Yeah. But and like Dre was talking about earlier, like, white boy music. Because there's a lot of music we listen to and people would say, like, why you listen to that white boy music?
Yes,
First of all, it's great music.
exactly.
It is music from our time. You
Right.
know what I mean? And a lot of it was on the radio all day, every day.
Yep.
There was really nothing else to listen to.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Besides what you had on record or what you had on 45, for y'all to remember the 45s, for y'all to remember the 8 track. Yeah, I know the young people
Way
like,
back.
what? What?
I
You know
still
what I'm
remember
saying?
that track.
Yeah. I still remember. Matter of fact, still a lot of those treasures still over there at the Richardson's joint,
Mm,
Um, but like, you had the 12-inch vinyl,
yeah.
records, 12-inch vinyl. And a lot of the 12-inch vinyls had the longer songs on them. Like I said, a lot of those songs was 10, 15 minutes, you know what
Yep.
I'm saying? But we listen to a lot of music, that like I still listen to today. And
Yeah.
people will just kind of just look at me strange. But like it's like, hey, mind your business. Don't worry about what I'm listening to over here. You know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
music just so powerful. No matter what language,
Yep.
you know, music is universal.
That's right.
You don't even have to know all the words, man.
Right.
You know, loving it.
Yeah. And I'll just have to say, even like as I got older, I had gained more of an appreciation for the older stuff, especially a lot of Motown,
Yeah.
because I'll listen to the Temptations, I'll
Hmm.
listen to the Supremes, the Four Tops. Um, it's just something about that sound back then. Tina Turner, I
Oh yeah.
for that matter. It was just something about that sound, man. Just the live aspect of it. Like you were saying earlier, there were no machines. Everything was live. They were doing
Live.
their thing, and you can't really get that stuff like that anymore. I mean, one of the last greats to really like do it still was Prince.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, oh, there was no concert like a Prince concert. I
Never
went
got
to
a
see
chance to experience.
Man, I went to see Prince here in 2004. Those tickets were expensive as all get up,
I'm sure.
but man, was it worth it. This man tore the house down
Wow.
as only Prince could do it. This was the musicology tour at that time. And he played his hits, and then he played music from musicology at the time. But he left the stage, at the very end, left the stage. Everything went dark. And then everybody was hollering and everything like that. And it was like, encore, encore. And then you heard purple rain, purple rain. And then he came back on stage. The
Oh
lights went back
man.
up. And I mean, you like, and it was like the place went bonkers.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, I don't think it was like a dry eye in the house, man. He tore it up. I mean, it broke my heart when he died, man. Just the way that he passed away, like gone way too soon.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that his music lives on. But man, that
Mhm.
was a once in a generation talent, you know.
And with that being said, when we were talking, when you were to mentioning that, we don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
I kind of look at music the way I look at like football. Let me explain.
Mm.
So when you have kids playing football, high school, college, they are playing. They're playing because they want to make it to that next level, which
Yep.
is the NFL. And they're playing their hearts out, right? Some of them get to the NFL and that money start to roll in, then it's like they just become overpaid adults.
Yeah.
I said it, don't care, people don't like it, whatever. Same thing with music. Like you gotta understand the music back then, they were playing their hearts out. They were really showing you their talent.
Right.
Now, today, I will say it, I don't care who doesn't like it. We have a lot of talentless people. People who are just industry plants. If you don't know what an industry plant is, we'll talk about that later on. But you get into a studio, your voice is altered and everything like that. Then you
Yeah.
have secret people. You got kind of got the Milli Vanilli effect. I love Milli Vanilli. Don't care. I like the music. I would
I do
say
too. I ain't gonna
I,
keep
I,
lying.
I love the music of Milli Vanilli, but the
Yeah.
real Milli Vanilli, the people, which
Yeah.
is why I understand music, which is why I understand why they went with this image. But
Right.
we got a lot of people in music that are doing that. And they're getting paid so much money, but the ones back then, they weren't getting paid that much money. It wasn't a lot of money in music then, which is why a lot of the older heads are like, like, how y'all get all this money?
Right.
We got talent. We were really playing our hearts out and really singing.
Yep.
And we didn't get that money like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it has to do with contracts and all that. And, that could be another episode of what it is. But I made that analogy to say, like, they were really doing their job. They were really, really singing and showing their talent. And it's like nowadays, we don't have that no more. Like, I'm sure there's some singers out there, but there's none that come to mind that I can say, oh, I really like this person. I like that person. Like, we don't have any more like new additions,
Right. Oh,
because
it's another one. Yep.
the group aspect is gone, you know.
Yep.
Um, and people don't want to be in groups no more because of money.
Yep.
Let's just call it what it is. You know what I mean? I don't want to split my money, blah, blah, blah. So everybody's a solo act. But when we had the groups, man, that was just like, oh man, like we mentioned Guy off camera.
Yep.
I can play a Guy song and be like, man, these dudes, they got talent,
Yep.
real producers like Teddy Riley,
Yep.
people that can actually play instruments.
Right.
It ain't just drum machines with that dude. He actually plays instruments. We don't have we just don't have that anymore. Or when we had our soloists,
Yep.
like an Alexander O'Neal,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Sherelle,
Yep.
like just some great music. You know what I'm saying?
I
Well,
would
I
be
mentioned
remiss,
what's that?
not to cut you off, but we would be remiss if we did not mention Morris Day and the Time. Yes. Man, yeah,
More day in the time,
yeah,
you can't. What's that?
it,
That was the whole Minneapolis sound,
yeah,
right?
yes, and you you can mention Prince, but of
Yeah,
course you have to mention Morris Day and the Time.
you have to.
I mean, funk, like the basic definition of funk. If you're gonna look up funk in the dictionary, Morris Day and the Time.
They
You
gonna
know,
be there.
that's it.
Cameo is gonna be there.
Cameo. Yep. Rick
Rick
James.
James.
Rick James.
do you do you remember the album covers from back
Yes.
then? Like, you know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like it was almost like a movie set. Like,
Yeah.
I still remember Rick James album when he had the sword, or I don't know if it was inside the album or something. Like, I don't know if it was
Yeah.
street.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
he had the
forget which
shield.
one that is. Yeah.
He looked like Conan,
Yeah.
like straight out of Conan or something
Yeah.
like that. Man, like,
Yep.
oh
He had like some of the best album covers.
yeah,
Um, Prince had some good album covers as well.
Prince
Um,
album, some of Prince album cover just made you raise an eyebrow. Like, what in the world was he thinking? Like, and I remember me and you, we used to sit back. Yeah, was it Around the World in a Day?
yeah,
Uh, and we used to look at that album cover like, okay, well, which one is this one?
which yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that's the Doctor dude. Is this one Prince? It's Wendy and Lisa. Like, man, a lot of those album covers was just, I mean, great. They
Yeah,
don't do that anymore. It's like no one takes time
yep,
to put into music anymore. Everything is just processed. It's microwave.
yeah,
A lot of these songs can't stand the test of time.
right.
It's quick, 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 and a lot of it's because the attention span has just dwindled. It's just down.
Exactly.
I love artistry. I love real music, which is why for me when I put out my album, the producer of that actually played instruments,
Mm.
which was like a godsend to me. Played guitar, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, piano, keyboard, everything, drums. So when you get somebody like that, that's when you get like you get a fuller sound. You get, stuff that just like hits you in the soul. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, man, Morris Day. Who else was up there? Who else? I mean, I even like some people may not like Janet, but I love Janet.
I love Janet.
You know what
Janet,
I'm saying?
Janet is
She
great.
had best producers
Yes, Jimmy Jam and
around
Terry
her.
Lewis one
That's
time.
right.
Yep,
Who I believe are vampires because they don't age.
exactly. Yeah. And they
It's
recently
man.
got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I mean, about time.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
really.
what took so long?
What time is it?
Yeah, what time is it? Like, hey, come on. Like,
Yeah,
oh man. Like, I know when we look at like especially groups like Toto.
yeah, Africa. Georgie Porgy. You know what? I was like, it was only like a few years ago that I realized that Toto sang Georgie Porgy. I did not know that.
Really?
Yes, yes,
Wow.
yeah. It's crazy, and I'm like, man, is this the same group that
Yeah.
sang Africa?
Yeah.
Rosanna. Like, yeah, like wow. Okay, I was like totally blown away.
Yeah.
And
Which is why a lot of the album, and now you saw this in the Five Heartbeats. If a lot of people look
yeah,
at the
I
Five
know where you're
Heartbeats
going.
movie,
I know
the
where you're
Five
going with it.
Heartbeats,
Yep.
just a little history on that movie. No, it was not the story of the Temptations. It was not. It was basically a story of the Dells, a group that was popular back
Mhm.
then. The thing is, of course, Five Heartbeats, you can't, a lot of copyrights, you can't use the name and everything like that. Things have to be changed. But a lot of the artists didn't put their pictures on albums
Yeah.
because they wanted people to focus on the music and not the appearance,
Right.
which is why a lot of sounds were passed off to us in the Black community as Black songs because we thought they were Black artists. Go back and research what's her name that
Tina
was
Marie.
with Rick James.
Tina Marie.
That's right. Everybody thought she was Black.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like, oh, she's, selling and everything like that. And then when you see her, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
shoot, we've
Yeah.
been bamboozled.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It was on both sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? It was mostly done
absolutely.
to Black artists, back then. But it was just one of those things. Like, I even tell you, like going back into the 90s when Eminem's first album came out.
Hmm.
Go and look at that album. When everybody was listening to Eminem, they're like, who's this Black dude? This Black dude crazy. I still remember, I don't know if I was 6th, 7th grade, something like that. But I was like, this Black dude crazy. And then when we saw that Eminem was white, it was like, that's a white dude? Dang. Like, I really feel had.
Yeah.
But that's the music world.
Yep.
That's what they do. They have to sell you a product. You know what I'm saying? Because they know with some people, if we see the product, if we see the person who's behind the product, a lot of people not gonna buy it. They're not gonna give it a
Exactly.
chance.
Exactly.
So just a little music history lesson for y'all out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And that just goes back to what we were saying about music being universal. You know,
Yes.
you can't listen with your eyes. You got to listen with your ears. And I mean, if it moves you, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good music. And even today, as I'm listening to music from the 80s and the 90s, my own daughter, who's 8 years old, can be heard or can be seen listening to the Doobie Brothers. What
Mm,
a Fool Believes.
mm,
Listening to Billy Joel. Listening to Dexy's Midnight Runners. Come on, Eileen. She loved
man.
Culture Club, Karma Chameleon. You know, that's her stuff. And then I asked her, I'm like, where did you get this stuff from? Well, you listen to it.
Yeah.
And she's singing along like it ain't no big deal. And I love it, man. I mean, it's so much better to have, especially today with these kids, they're so well rounded.
Yeah.
And it's not just, rap and that. It's not, you just basically put in a box and
Yeah.
say, okay, you black, so you need to listen to this music. You white, so you need to listen to this music right here. You know what I'm saying? It's a universal thing. Music does not have any color. There's no race to it. It's for everybody, no
It's for
matter
everybody.
what
And
kind of music it is.
if I really told y'all the biggest consumers of music what race they were, it'd probably make your head spin.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that too.
And this is coming from an artist. This
Yeah,
is coming from someone who is very connected. You know, I know exactly what it is because there's a certain demographic that will support, and there's a certain other one that just be like, I just steal it, download
exactly, exactly.
it. Now, you mentioned the Doobie Brothers.
Yes.
Anybody know where one of those front men came or what front man came out of that group?
In the comments.
In the comments below. You can actually go ahead and watch an old episode of What's Happening
Yes.
and see
Yes.
the Doobie Brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you, this is bringing back memories. I remember when I went to visit. I believe it was in '92, something like that. And we at grandma's house, slept downstairs,
Hmm.
and this is when uh, we used to keep the radio on all night.
Yeah.
And a song that still, when it comes on to this day, I'll listen to this song, and I just be like, dang, I was in a happy place. Some music for me, I'll listen to songs, and I would just think back to where I was.
Yes.
Like for some reason, "Love No Limit" right now,
Mm,
Mary J. Blige.
yeah.
I don't know why that song is stuck in my head. I don't recall what was going on. I know I was in school at that time, but I played that song over and over again, like 50 times. No, I mean, just repeat, 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 because it took me back to a happy place. But that song was that Life is a Highway. Life is a
Yeah.
highway. I
Yeah.
wanna ride. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember waking up to that song, and I'm like, "Dang, I'm at my grandma's house. I'm not in Cali, no, right now. I'm around family. I'm in a happy spot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's like what music is for me. And
Yeah.
anybody in my household will tell you when it's time when I'm doing whatever, if I'm out in the yard, if I'm working on whatever, music is playing.
Yeah.
There's always music playing. You know what I'm saying? Today's music, no. Yesterday's music is playing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. to each their own, but
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't get with it. A lot of music today is just process, and
Yeah.
like me being a gospel rap artist, and when I'm talking to some of the youngsters, and they like, "Oh man, you need to listen to this person, that person." I got about 30 seconds, and I turn it off
Yep.
because it's like I would like to see, or I would like to hear an artist say something that I've never heard before.
Mm.
I've heard it all. I've heard it all. I mean, think back to the female rappers that we had in our days. Black empowerment, sisterhood.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't
Salt.
no wet this, wet that.
Yes.
Come and do this and that to me. We
Salt
didn't
and
have
pepper.
that.
Queen
Salt and Pepper,
Latifah.
Queen Latifah,
Yep.
MC Light. You know what
Sister
I'm saying?
Soldier.
Sister Soldier, like
Yeah.
Miss
Yeah.
Melody. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, come
Yep.
on, man. Like, Moni Love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Roxanne.
saying?
Roxanne Shante.
The real
Yeah.
Roxanne. I mean, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
great, we had great music.
Yep.
Now, granted, if the younger ones, the music today, if y'all think that's great, that's cool. It is what it is. But an old head like me, you ain't gonna get me to listen because I've heard it. Like I said, give me one artist that is saying something that I've never heard before.
Yeah.
There's no artist out there. I've heard it all.
You
I've
know,
heard
you
every gang tale. I've heard
yeah.
every sexual song I've heard it.
Yep.
I'm 43. I've heard it all. It is not impressing me. And I'm like I said, I'm not knocking it. That's what you listen to. That's what you listen to. But I'm not gonna listen. I
Yeah.
just that's just not me.
You know who you sound like right now?
Who's that?
T-Pain. Try something different.
I mean, yeah,
Try something different.
something different. Everything is just recycled.
Yeah.
It's recycled stuff. And I've gone on record to say I'm the wrong individual to get in a music battle with. Because I can tell you where the song was sampled, what album it comes from.
Yep.
A lot of it comes from the Motown sound.
Yep.
A lot of it comes from songs that were never played on the radio. Because what they're doing is digging through crates, finding old songs that they think nobody's heard,
Hmm.
putting a little extra to it, and then putting it out there. But cats like me, I'm like, I know what song is that. I know that song. Like, come on,
Hmm.
that sound, the '90s actually built on that sound. Like,
Yeah.
unless you want to look at like the New Jack Swing era, but
Yeah.
Teddy was just doing
Teddy
some
Riley
fresh
and
stuff,
yeah.
But like,
Bobby Brown.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But like if you look at like Dre, a lot of Dre stuff it's samples.
Oh yeah.
It's all samples. But
Yeah.
like I said, disclaimer, not knocking it. You ain't gonna get me to listen to it.
Yep.
Nobody out here knew. You're not gonna get. I just hip it. I just, it's like sometimes. I mean, it's to the point where I don't listen to the radio anymore.
Yeah.
I let my playlist play
Yes.
because I
Yeah.
just can't. And the same song is played on the radio all day long,
Yep.
all the time. It's not because it's popular.
Right.
If you got $50,000, you can give it to a program director and they will spin that record all day long. That, boys and girls, is how music gets on the radio.
Payola.
Yes.
It still exists.
It still exists. They were doing that back in the days.
Yep.
They get a DJ, hey, play this record. Oh, well, I need a reason to play that record.
Exactly.
So
Watch Dream Girls. You know what he's talking about.
yeah. Jimmy Walt Mo.
Yeah.
Man, that
Oh man.
I would like to I would like to do an episode on how music is really run. I loved it like back then the artists sold records.
Yeah.
They got out there and they sold records. There was no downloading back then. You know, a lot of music today is manipulation. You know, like I can take a song and pay a bot to continuously play that song, play that song, play that song. Now, what that will do? Run up your algorithms, run up your plays, and everybody thinks the song is so hot. You know, and back then, those artists actually sold millions of records. Today, they report millions of records. There's a difference. If you report millions of records, if you report a million records sold, everybody thinks it's hot. You just reported it. Those records are still sitting in the back. Well, when we had record stores, you know, still sitting in the back. Now, the equivalent is like the bots playing all the records. Back then, oh, this person sold 1 million records. No, they just shipped 1 million. They didn't sell anything. You know, y'all really stop being fooled. But anyway, I'm off my soapbox. But yeah.
And that's the way it is, folks. The soundtrack of our lives.
Yes.
Well, I think we have covered this thing enough.
And had fun doing it.
Yes, a lot of fun. And
man,
it's time to go.
Yep. I like to say one thing. Any of y'all favorite songs down below. Let us know what song plays your heart in your soundtrack of your life. Until next time.
Yes. I am Dre. That's Rashad. And we will see you next time.
On
See what happened was. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@the Mervin Brothers. You can also find us on audio versions, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Woo! Yes, we are expanding, and we want y'all to ride with us on this thing. We thank you so much. As far as social media goes, of course, in addition to YouTube, you can also find me at Dre_allday24. You can also hit me up on Facebook at Dre All Day Mervin. Rashad,
you can find me at Rashad the Toy Collector for all my toy heads, or you can find me at MOG Mervin, Instagram, Facebook music page. You can find me at MOG Mervin MOG Mervin Music on Facebook.
It's all good. Thank y'all so much. Peace.